Hey guys, so we're gonna start a project today. It's a little bit different from what we normally do. We're gonna be doing something for our adventure mobile, the Bronco, except it's gonna be a little bit more towards woodworking. Since I take this Bronco just about everywhere, I wanna have a little bit of a mobile kitchen that slides out. So online, I've seen a lot of camp kitchens for Jeeps as well as Land Cruisers, etc. So after doing some internet image searches, I kind of came up with a general idea of what I'd like. So here's something that I drew up for the Bronco. A little rough sketch for just a quick idea for the kitchen. With the bed open on the truck like this, I'll be able to pull the kitchen all the way out and I'll be able to cook out in the open and then slide it back and close the cab. I use this truck for just about everything, obviously to haul wood or just, you know, put my puppy back there or whatever. So I didn't want it to be something that was bolted down to the floor of the truck. I'll show you my solution for that. You know, just making this kind of a removable cabinet system. It's nice to have a couple tables. I have a lot of just scrap wood because we're gonna make a bunch of test cuts. I think I might make a kind of scrap version first, and then I actually got some nice birch plywood. I had these drawer slides left over from a different project. I actually bought too many. So we're doing this out of scrap so I can get a rough measurement of the height. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with this. This is just a prototype. Outside of this, there's gonna be more drawer slides on the outside of this, and there's gonna be a surrounding box that this all encloses in. I've seen what I need to see from this prototype, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to actually making it with the good plywood. You know, it should be international law that all stickers ever to be produced should just peel off easily. So now we have the base here, so we'll go ahead and double check the length. Looks about right, and we'll go ahead and throw the drawer slides on. Outside is going to be a face here. Draw this out. So I have it shimmed up down here with 8-inch shims. So now that I have it all tacked together, I can actually use some screws to ensure that this doesn't come apart. So that's about it for today. I'm calling it quits. Been at it since this morning. I had a rough idea, a rough sketch as I've shown you, of what I wanted, but no exact measurements. I didn't make a Google SketchUp file or anything like that. So I really based everything off the measurements of the actual stove. Next up, which we'll do tomorrow or the next day, is sanding as well as finishing. We're just gonna give it a coat of polyacrylic that I have in my garage, so it'll give it a nice waterproof covering. Since I do take the Bronco to the beach, and if it may rain or something like that, I think it would be a good idea to give it a nice finish. So they're all sanded. Went from 80 to 150 to 220 grit with my Orville sander and a little bit of hand sanding to get into the edges. Now we gotta finish it. So I have this polyacrylic clear satin, and I've never used it before, but I'm not too worried about the way it looks. I just want it to be protected. So we're gonna do the show faces first. And in the instructions, you have to sand in between coats. I'll do one coat on everything, and then once that dries, I'll flip it over, do another coat on the other side, flip it back over. Once that's dry, sand it, etc., etc., and then hopefully we can reassemble it and it be done. Now that I've put finish on the wood, we can go ahead and reassemble it. I put about 4 coats of the polyacrylic clear satin on. It recommends 3 coats, but I ended up doing 4 just because I wasn't happy with the 3rd coat. So the finish is, I'm really pleased with it. It keeps the natural look of the wood, and it's really hard. The finish is really hard, so go ahead and put it back together. Okay, now's the point where we're going to go ahead and secure the drawer system in the bed of the truck. With the drawer system fully extended, obviously it would tip out. I had to figure out a way to lash it in there without it tipping out. In the bed of the Bronco, it has a decent amount of space, especially with the seat folded down. You can go ahead and go in there. Go ahead. Up. So there's a decent amount of space in the back of the truck, but I still didn't want something permanent. I didn't want to bolt the drawer system in the bed of the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and use this neat little thing that I found online called Mac tie downs. So they sell these tie downs in strips, or you can get these little ones that are individual. So it's just like a little thing. I think they're rated for 500 pounds each, and it comes with this tie down. So all you do is it's spring loaded, and then it just kind of slides in there and latches on and is secure. So this will go underneath the truck, and this will go in the bed, and that way I can just slide this out and remove it, and then it'll just be this little small protrusion rather than a hook or a latch or something like that that's gonna stick out and be obstructive to the bed of the truck, because I still want to haul crap in there. So a while back, I gutted the cab and I placed this ghetto dynamat down. It seems to work just fine. It's held up pretty well. pretty pleased with the way this turned out. It took a lot longer than I anticipated. All in all though, making this out of wood for my first version, I said before that this is going to be my Mark 1. One thing I didn't really know about woodworking is how much time it takes to finish it, as in putting a coating on it to protect it from the elements, I guess. Now, it's really strong. It's not one of those things where I'm not gonna sit on the end here, but that's not what it's intended for. I'm just gonna be cooking here, and it supports the weight just fine, even with a big couple cast iron pans on here and a fully loaded cooler. It doesn't have any issues sliding out properly and being utilized like a normal little camp kitchen. If I make another one, I'll most likely make it out of 80/20 or some other metal, or maybe I'll weld something together. I haven't really decided. I'm happy with this for now, just to kind of get an idea of what I need. A few things that I would change is maybe I would make it a little bit longer, and I actually don't own a cooler with the handles that I can secure this down to, so I'm gonna get one with some handles so that I can secure down to the base here with maybe some eyelet screws that I can just screw into the top here. But other than that, I'm really happy with this thing. I think it looks pretty neat. Thanks again for watching another episode of Auto Existence. Please like and subscribe if you like what you saw. Check out my Patreon and my website, autoexistence.com. You can find me on Instagram at autoexistence, as well as Facebook at autoexistence. See you in the next one.